So exercise 6.2. Tell me how to do the first problem. It's a very simple one. So show that the function f of x is equal to 3x plus 17 is an increasing function on R. So what are we supposed to do? It's a strictly increasing function. Rather, we can say it's strictly increasing.
Differentiate.
So differentiated. So f dash of x is going to be how much? It's a simple one. It's going to be 3. So 3 is always greater than 0. It cannot be greater than or equal to 0. So when f dash of x is strictly greater than 0, we can say it is strictly increasing. Right? So this is with respect to differentiation, but I would suggest you to practice the graphs for this also. So what does y is equal to 3x plus 17 represent? Anybody? Y is equal to 3x plus 17 represents what?
Straight line.
Straight line. Is it passing through the origin?
No.
Okay. Then how do we draw it?
Passing through positive direction of y-axis.
Okay. So is it of which? It is of which form? Y is equal to mx plus c. So what is the slope is 3, right? So just give me a minute. Just a minute. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Y is equal to mx plus c. So what is the slope here? So slope is 3. So it is going to be a graph like this. So it is an increasing function. As the value of x is increasing, the value of y is also increasing. So it's an increasing function. It's a simple one. So how to do the next one? So second one, show that the function f of x is equal to e power 2x is increasing on R. So again differentiated f dash of x is equal to e power 2x into 2. You are going to follow the chain rule. So e power 2x into 2 is always greater than 0 for any value of x, because what is the value of e? E is 2.718 approximate. It's an approximate value. So 2 into 2.718 raised to the power of anything is definitely going to be a positive value. So that's the answer, right? It is going to be a positive value for all values of x that belongs to R. Now listen. So if you have to observe the graph for e power 2x, the graph for e power 2x will be like this. So this is y is equal to e power 2x. Okay. So that is why it is an increasing function. So these are all simple ones. Let's go a little fast. Just a minute. Now listen. Now let's do the third one. So how to do the third one? F of x is equal to sin x. So what is the domain of sin x?
R.
Domain is x belongs to R. Next. So what is f dash of x then? F dash of x is equal to cos x. So for strictly, they have used the word strictly. So for strictly increasing, f dash of x should be greater than 0. So cos x should be greater than 0. So tell me what are all the limits across which the cos x is going to be greater than 0. So in which quadrant is it going to be greater than 0? Obviously, the first quadrant, right? So what are the limits? Actually, if you see this question, one point that is missing is they didn't mention the domain across which they are asking us to verify. So they are restricting the domain to 0 to pi. So actually this question should have been, show that the function given by f of x is equal to sin x in the interval 0 to pi is increasing in this value, is decreasing in this value. Right, cos x is greater than 0 means x belongs to 0 to pi by 2. Okay. Similarly, for strictly decreasing, what will happen? Cos x should be less than 0. So what should be the value of x?
Pi by 2 to pi.
Belongs to pi by 2 to pi. So this is what is supposed to happen. Right? Similarly, neither increasing nor decreasing. What will happen? It will happen between 0 to pi. Because 0 to pi by 2 it is increasing and 0 pi by 2 to pi it is going to decrease. So how is the graph for sin x? So the graph for sin x is going to be like this. So this is 0, this is pi by 2 and this is pi. So this part is not required at all. Alright? So this is not required. So between 0 to pi, here it is increasing and here it is decreasing. So at pi by 2, it will exactly be maximum. Okay. So I think fourth problem we have already done. Sixth problem, you can do it on your own. Sixth problem, I'll do the D part alone because all other things are quadratic only. When you differentiate a quadratic function, you're going to get a linear function. So it is easy to handle. So let me do 6e alone. So how to do 6e? F of x is equal to x plus 1 the whole cube into x minus 3 the whole cube. So how to do this?
You can take x plus 1 whole cube as u. And
okay. So what is f dash of x then?
u dash v.
Yeah. U dash v.
3.
Yeah. X plus 1 into 3 into you wanted you can complete it.
d by dx. 3x. 3 into x minus
3
x
into
minus 3 the whole
minus
square.
whole square
plus
x cube x minus
X
3
minus
whole
3
cube
the whole cube.
into 3 of x
3
plus 1.
whole square.
That's it, right? So there's going to be, so we can simplify this. What can we take out common? X plus 1 the whole square into x minus 3 the whole square if you take out common. So we'll have 3 into x plus 1. Okay, 1 minute. So this whole thing multiplied with 3 into x plus 1 plus 3 into, actually you can take out 3 also common. So if I take out 3 common, then you have x plus 1 into
x minus 3.
so this should be equal to, sorry, this should be greater than 0, right? And remember, x plus 1 the whole square will always be positive. X minus 3 the whole square will always be positive, right? But for what values will it be positive? X plus 1 the whole square is always greater than 0 for all values of real number except
Sir, you left the addition sign in between x plus 1 and x minus 1.
yeah. Shrivatsan, think about it. So x plus 1 plus x minus 3. So what will I get? Can I directly write it? I'll get x plus 1 plus x minus 3. That is going to be 2x minus 2. So this is the function. Now I'm verifying C. So for every real number except minus 1. Similarly, x minus 3 the whole square is always greater than 0 for all values of real number except
-3.
except 3, right? So when you're trying to take that value to the other side, because you have to solve the inequality, right? For increasing, see what I'm going to do. For increasing, f dash of x should be greater than 0, right? So f dash of x should be greater than 0 in the sense, then 3 into x plus 1 the whole square into x minus 3 the whole square. If I take out the 2, I can write it as 2 into x minus 1 should be greater than 0. Now, when can I take these values to the other side? See, suppose I have a into b is greater than 0, then what should be the condition on a and b? A comma b, they are not supposed to be equal to 0 at any point. Because if a is equal to 0, when you take it to the other side, it becomes 0 by a, 0 by 0 form. It becomes indeterminate form. So you cannot solve it. Okay, that is the reason I'm trying to define all these points. So observe. So x plus 1 the whole square into x minus 3 the whole square into 2 of x minus 1, that is going to be 6 into x plus 1 the whole square into x minus 3 the whole square into x minus 1 is greater than 0. When will this value be greater than 0? This is already positive. This is already positive. Only this has to be positive. So if x minus 1 is greater than 0, then I can say it is an increasing function, which implies x is greater than 1. If I write the answer as 1 to infinity, I'm saying it is wrong. Why? Yeah. Just a minute. Can you think about it?
Because it includes 3.
Sorry? Actually, 1 minute. X is, so what is the domain of the function? Can someone tell me what is the domain of this?
Or
So domain is x belongs to R. Okay. So there is no point of discontinuity. I'm sorry. This is right only. I made a mistake. I'm sorry about it. So x is greater than 1. So 1 to infinity, it is going to be an increasing function. Similarly, where is it going to be decreasing?
-infinity to 1.
Yes. So minus infinity to 1 is going to be decreasing. That is the answer. So infinity to 1 it is increasing, minus infinity to 1 it is decreasing. Right? So that's all. Okay. Next, we will do the 7th problem. To tell you what all problems we are going to do, we'll do 7th, 8th, 9th, and 15th. 7th, 8th, 9th, 14th and 15th we will do, then we'll go to the next exercise. Look at the 7th one. So what is the question? Y is equal to log of 1 plus x minus, yeah, tell me.
In the previous sum, but 3 and -1 cannot come, no, sir.
Why?
Because in x minus 1 the whole cube and x plus 1 the whole cube and x minus 3 the whole cube, if we use 3 and -1, we will
See,
get.
that's what I'm trying to say. So that validation you're doing only for f dash of x. There is no point of discontinuity here. Okay, if you want, I will show you one thing. See, what is the function? Can you read it? X minus x plus 1 the whole cube.
And x minus 3 the whole cube.
1 minute. X plus 1 the whole cube into x minus 1 the whole cube, right? So this is y,
minus 3.
x minus 3 the whole cube.
Yes, sir.
1 minute. So this is how the function is. Observe. So you're able to see this? 1 minute, I scrolled it very fast. See what is happening. So what is going to be the domain of this function? That's what I asked. The domain of the function is going to be real numbers. So when the value of x is greater than 1, what is happening to it? It is only increasing, no? So it is decreasing on the left of 1. It is increasing on the right of 1. That is the meaning. Whoever asked this question, are you able to visualize it? Are you able to see what the graph?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is the meaning.
Sir?
Yeah, tell me.
So, but
Yeah.
In the domain you
Voice is breaking a lot.
specified minus
Yeah.
to
Ritika, your voice is breaking a lot. Your voice is getting stuck. Ritika, your voice is getting stuck a lot. Are you able to hear me?
But we for x minus the whole, it should be r minus. Sir, am I audible?
No, you're audible, but your voice is getting stuck a lot. Can you just mute and unmute and speak? First mute yourself, then unmute and then try to speak.
Sir, am I audible?
Now it is clear. Tell me.
Okay. Sir,
Again it is getting stuck. Can you just type? Can you just type?
That it should be r minus 3.
See, r minus 3 is the domain for f dash of x, but what is that we want? We want to check it in the domain of f of x. You're able to understand? I wanted to check in the domain of f of x. Not sure if you're able to hear me. Okay. Okay. Can we proceed? I hope it is clear. Is there anyone having a doubt? See, the question, I'm able to understand where you're coming from. See, you people might have a doubt. I told you that you can use any value of r except 3 and any value of r except minus 1. Those are all the checkpoints only for the f dash of x, but our concern is not about f dash of x. Our concern is about the function itself. So the domain of the function, when it is going to be real number, when it is having no point of discontinuity, you need not break it at all. When there is no point of discontinuity, you need not break it. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Is my voice clear to everyone? Not getting any responses. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Shall we do the next problem? So y is equal to log of 1 plus x minus 2x divided by 2 plus x. So y is equal to log of 1 plus x minus 2x divided by 2 plus x. So how to do this? The reason why they have given x is greater than minus 1 is because how to check the domain of log. So if at all you have a function like this, log of x base a, then you need to ensure that a is greater than 0 and x is not equal to 0 and x is greater than 0. Okay, when that should happen, 1 plus x should not be equal to 0 means x should not be equal to minus 1 and hence it has to be greater than minus 1. That is the reason. Even if it is not given in the question, you are supposed to know. Can someone tell me what is the domain of this function?
0 to infinity.
0 to infinity. Already we told x should be greater than
Minus
minus.
1 to infinity.
No. See, you people are concentrating only on log. This is also a part of the function.
Or real numbers?
Listen.
minus 2 to infinity.
Listen. See, I told you when you check for x, 1 plus x should be greater than 0 means x should be greater than minus 1. When will this function be defined? This function will be defined only when the denominator is not equal to 0. 2 plus x should not be equal to 0. Right? This is a rational function. So p of x by q of x. So p of x by q of x is defined only when q of x is not equal to 0 means x should not be equal to minus 2. So what should be the limit? What should be the domain then? Here minus 2, minus 1, infinity. What should be the domain then? So rational
Minus 1 to
function.
infinity.
Yes, the rational function is saying it can take any real number except minus 2. Right? Except minus 2, it can take any value. And log of 1 plus x is telling it can take any value from minus 1 to infinity. So what is the common area? This is the common area. So when you take the common area, x belongs to minus 1 to infinity. Had the same question been twisted like this, 2x divided by 2 minus x, then what will you say? At the same question, if they change and ask you in the exam, what will you do?
Minus 2 to infinity.
Minus 1 to 2, open bracket or close bracket?
Open
Bracket.
the circular bracket.
No, that's open bracket. So minus 1 to 2, open bracket, both are open bracket. Union?
2 to infinity.
Stevenson, can you come close to the mic? Your voice is not.
2 to infinity.
Now it's better. 2 to infinity. You are able to understand. So it is always advisable for you to define the domain of the system of a given function. Now we can proceed. See, again the same story. So f dash of x. So what is f dash of x? 1 divided by 1 plus x into derivative of 1 plus x is 1 minus of u by v form. So u by v is v into u dash minus u into v dash divided by v square, 2 plus x the whole square. So this will be equal to 1 by 1 plus x minus 4 plus 2x. I'll put a bracket 4 plus 2x minus 2x divided by 2 plus x the whole square. So this and this gets cancelled. So what I going to have minus 4 divided by 2 plus x the whole square. This should be greater than 0. So what are they asking? Show that the function is increasing throughout its domain. So they have asked. The question itself says you should know what is the domain of it. Now tell me how to simplify this. How do I prove that it is greater than 0? For what values of x that I need to substitute? I need to prove for real numbers or minus 1 to infinity.
Minus 1 to infinity.
Only my work is only to prove for minus 1 to infinity. Right. So if that is the case, I will take it like this. Can we take LCM and then do it? 2 plus x the whole square minus 4 into 1 plus x divided by 1 plus x into 2 plus x the whole square. So this is what we need to prove. It is greater than 0. So it is going to be x square plus 4 plus 2x minus 4 minus 4x divided by 1 plus x into 2 plus x the whole square greater than 0. So what gets cancelled? This is gone. So you will have x square minus 2x divided by 1 plus x into 2 plus x the whole square.
So
It is 4x, right? Yes. So x
So-
square, yeah, tell me.
can't we just cross multiply the denominator and
But how will you find it? You cannot find. You are supposed to do the same thing again. How will you solve an inequality?
so we can multiply both sides by 1 plus x into 2 plus x the whole square. So we'll be rid of the denominator.
That's
Then
what
it will be-
that is what even I did. See, that is
Oh,
what even
sorry.
I did. I've taken LCM. That's it. See, when I have 1 by 2 minus 3 by 5, instead of taking the LCM as like, okay, I'll take it like this. 1 by 2 minus 1 by 6, instead of taking the LCM as 6 and proceeding, I multiplied these to 18. I cross multiplied and did it. Same thing. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So this is the value. So I need to prove that this is greater than 0. Now we need to check what are all the values. So this is again what? Is this not a rational function? So this is a rational function. Tell me, if this whole numerator and denominator has to be positive, then what are all the different permutations and combinations possible? Say if I say a fraction numerator by denominator is greater than 0, then there are only two possibilities. Numerator, if it is greater than 0, then it should be like denominator is also greater than 0. Am I right? Or else, if numerator is less than 0, then denominator also should be simultaneously less than 0, because minus by minus will also get cancelled. If you look at this particular question, what is happening with respect to numerator is it is always positive because it's a perfect square. Since x square is always positive, then what should happen to the denominator? Then the denominator should also be positive. Denominator is a product of two terms, which is 1 plus x and 2 plus x the whole square. 2 plus x the whole square by default will always be positive because it is also a perfect square. When can 1 plus x be greater than 0?
R minus 1.
No. You're telling, what you're saying is the domain of it. See, since x square is always positive and 2 plus x the whole square is also always positive, please concentrate. 1 plus x also should be positive.
Sir, so minus 1 to infinity, no?
Yes, x is greater than minus 1. So f dash of x is positive for all values of x that is greater than minus 1. But x greater than minus 1 is nothing but the domain of the whole function. Am I clear? So x greater than minus 1 is the domain of the function. So what you're trying to say is f of x is increasing function for all values of x that is greater than minus 1. Hence, so this word domain is important here. Now what I will do is, once you complete this, I want the question to be changed as 2 minus x. I'm going to change the question. I'm going to ask you, tell me the intervals in which that function is going to increase. I'm not going to ask you to prove. That is, observe. I am modifying the question like this. Log of 1 plus x minus 2x divided by 2 minus x. Find the intervals in which the function is increasing and decreasing. This is the question. See, when I don't know the answer, I want everybody's answer to match. But think about it. So how to prove? In the meanwhile, if someone wants to copy this, let me know. If anybody wants to copy the solution for previous problem, let me know.
Can you scroll up a bit?
Sure.
Sir, is the answer for strictly increasing minus 1 to 2 union 2 to infinity, and for strictly decreasing, is it minus infinity to minus 1 union 2?
That's what I don't have to check. Did you differentiate it?
Yes, sir, I tried.
Okay, we'll do. Let's see if our answers are matching. I'll do it after this. See, this is the trickiest exercise of all. If you're able to master this, other parts is easy.
Answer, can you scroll a bit down?
Yeah, sure. See, while copying, if you get any doubt, let me know. If you feel that you're not convinced with a particular step, let me know.
So the next part.
Yeah. Huh? Listen. So what is the domain of the function? So see, listen, you need not memorize or do anything. If you have to find the domain of the function, no? Take this as a separate function, take this as a separate function, and try to find the values for which each function is defined individually. So log of 1 plus x, when is it defined? Okay, let's do it. Has anyone started doing this problem? How many of you have started?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I don't want to modify. Okay. So log of 1 plus x, see by default, if they give you log in mathematics, it is with base e. So it is understood. So generally, as I told you, if you have log x base a, then a should be greater than 0 and x should also be greater than 0, and x should obviously not be equal to 0. So 1 plus x should be greater than 0 means x should be greater than minus 1. So minus 1 to infinity is one of the values. Now for 2x by 2 minus x, what is the domain? You can take any real number except minus 2. Right? So when you draw the number line,
Sir, except 2, sir.
Except 2, or sorry. So it is minus 1, there's 2. So at point 2, you have a point of discontinuity. Means it is not there in the domain. So there is a discontinuous point. Right? So this is the case for 2x by 2 minus 6. Whereas log says it should be greater than 1 minus 6. So what is the common area? The common area is minus 1 to infinity with a break at 2. So the domain is x belongs to minus 1 to 2 union 2 to infinity. I hope it is clear. So when you are getting the values, you are not supposed to include 2 in the particular equation. Next. What is the value of f dash of x? So it is 1 by 1 plus x minus 2 minus x into 2 minus of 2x into minus 1 divided by 2 minus x the whole square. Can I write it like this? So it will be 1 by 1 plus, if there is any mistake, let me know immediately. Okay. So minus of 4 minus 2x plus 2x divided by 2 minus x the whole square. So 2x and 2x gets cancelled. So again, you are going to take the LCM. So 2 minus x the whole square minus 4 minus 4x the whole divided by 1 plus x into 2 minus x the whole square. So this is also a similar one. So 4 plus x square minus 4x minus 4 minus 4x. This and this gets cancelled. 4 and 4 is gone. X square is as it is divided by 1 plus x into 2 minus x the whole square. So if this has to be greater than 0, then what is the condition? X belongs to Shields and terminal.
Sir, sorry?
Can you tell me where will it be increasing?
I mean, my answer or for this?
Your answer, no, according to, is this the step you got? I just want to cross verify if you got the same steps.
Sir, I got the domain only, sir. I got minus 1 to 2 union 2 to infinity.
But I asked you to find where it is increasing and where it is decreasing, no?
It's increasing, but I don't see a point in decreasing, sir.
It will be, oh, you don't have a point in decreasing because the domain itself is minus 1 to infinity. That's right. So where is it increasing? So x belongs to, can you tell me the points? Minus 1, minus 1. Shave and finish it. Anybody else who can tell me?
Infinity.
Yeah. Increasing, for increasing. Minus 1. See, it is again the same logic. I'm not sure what is confusing you guys. Listen, I have the same logic. X square plus 1 plus x into 2 minus x the whole square. If it has to be greater than 0, it is going to be increasing. So x square is by default positive. 2 minus x the whole square is by default positive. When will 1 plus x also be positive? When 1 plus x is greater than 0, x will be greater than minus 1. But in this
Minus
case,
1 to infinity.
you are not supposed to write minus 1 to infinity. Reason? Reason?
Because 2 minus 2 will get 0.
Because the function itself doesn't have any value at 2. It is discontinuous at that point. So that point has to be eliminated. So how we are supposed to write this? Minus 1 to 2 union 2 to infinity. Or how you can write it is, the other way of writing is minus 1 to infinity minus 2. This is another way of writing. So you can write it in either of the ways. Are you guys able to understand?
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, I got that it doesn't decrease at all, sir.
It doesn't decrease. What you told is right. I confirmed it. It doesn't decrease because that value is not there in the domain itself.
Yes, sir.
That's why. That's the reason. Yeah, it doesn't. So we will verify. Oh, it is big. It's a very big graph to draw. Okay. Anyways, that's the answer. So no problem. So I hope you people are clear with how to use domain in increasing and decreasing function. That is what I wanted to mainly stress. I hope it is clear. Just give me a confirmation so that I can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. Sir, it's x square minus x in the square minus 8. Not sure there. Okay. So can we do the 8th problem then? So find the values of x for which y is equal to x into x minus 2, the whole square is increasing. So domain. I want the domain first.
So real numbers.
That's right. It's real numbers. That's right. Because it's an algebra, it's a polynomial function or algebraic function of every one you can take it. Its domain is going to be real number. So when they are asking you find the values of x in which it is increasing, you have to define it in its domain in the real number system. Same story again. Anybody willing to tell the answer? You want to try the differentiation? So 2 into so I'll write it like this. It is x square minus 2x the whole power 2. So I'll write y like this. Then y dash will be 2 into x square minus 2x into 2x minus 2. So I take 2 common, 4x into x minus 2 into x minus 1. So this is y dash. This should be greater than 0. So that's all. It's a simple differentiation and a factorization process. But how to find the limits? Anybody with the idea? I explained Wavy curve method, right? It is an extension of Wavy curve. Anybody willing to try? Even if it is wrong, it is fine.
Sir, is it 0 to infinity minus 1 comma 2?
Let's try. No. So how did you do actually? You took the checkpoints 0, 1, and 2. Right. See, till here everybody will do. This is where you need to understand. So how did you check? How did you get those values? That is what I want to know.
Sir, it won't be greater than 0 at 2 and 1.
How do you know it is not? Between 1 and 2, it will not be greater than 0?
X minus 2 greater than 0, so x cannot be 2.
Okay, x cannot be 2, okay.
And x cannot be less than 2. Less than or equal to 2.
No, equal to concept is gone here. Because here we are talking only about increasing function.
Yeah, so then same way x minus 1 greater than 0. So
okay.
X cannot be 1.
That's right. See, but see, I'll tell you, I'm not sure if you're thinking like this. See, it is like this. When you have x, no, it is x minus 0. So whatever is the number after this minus, put that number on the real number system. Then what you do is you check the left limit and the right limit of it. Left limit in the sense you need not sit and do that limit extends to 0 and all. You just substitute some value and see. If I substitute a value of x less than 0, will this whole expression give me a positive value or a negative value?
Negative value.
Negative.
Is it going to give a negative? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So it is going to give me a negative between 0 to 1.
Yes, sir.
0 to 1, what is going to happen? Is it still giving me a negative value?
Yes, sir. Because x minus 1.
I can try half. When I try half, this is going to be positive, this will be negative, and this will be negative. No, it is giving me a positive value, no?
Oh,
It is giving a positive value. So positive. Between 1 and 2? Between 1 and 2, if I substitute 1.5, let's say. 1.5 means x is positive. 1.5 minus 2 is negative.
Negative.
1.5 minus 1 is positive. So this is giving me a negative value. So anything greater than 2 obviously will give me a positive value. So you need to draw a curve like this. Now what are we trying to say? Y dash should be greater than 0. This curve, where all is it giving me a positive value? And the value of, that's it. So the value of x that you need to write is x belongs to 0 to 1 union 2 to. So this is the domain. These are the values of x in which the function is increasing. Is there anyone having a doubt?
So can you explain the graph part again?
Sure. So what you see, how to draw the graph is, and I'll forget about this problem. If suppose I have something like this, x into x minus 3 into x plus 1 into x minus 5. If I have something like this, when I can have 10 values also. If I am asked to solve an inequality, if it is equality, everybody can solve. You will tell me the answer is 0, 3, minus 1 and 5. Had it been an inequality, it should either be greater than 0 or greater than or equal to 0, less than 0 or less than or equal to 0. So whenever you need to solve the inequality, first draw the number line. Okay. On the number line, you need to write the checkpoints. Checkpoints in the sense, this factor is x minus 0. What will be the root of this? Means what should I substitute in x minus 0 for it to become 0?
X.
Obviously 0. So what should I substitute in x minus 3 for it to become 0? 3. In x plus 1?
Minus 1.
Minus 1. In x minus 5?
5.
I need to substitute 5. Now always start from the left hand side. So when I say left extreme point is minus 1. So check what will happen to this inequality when you substitute a value which is less than minus 1. So you need not sit and calculate. You have to see only the sign of it. When I substitute a value which is less than minus 1, x will give me negative. This will give me negative. This will give me negative. And this will also give me negative. 4 negatives multiplied together.
Positive.
Positive value. So put a plus sign here. Now what are you supposed to do? You need to check for a value between minus 1 and 0. So think of minus half. When I substitute minus half, x is negative, minus half minus 3 is negative, minus half plus 1 is positive, minus half minus 5 is negative. So 3 negatives into 1 positive.
Negative.
Negative. So I'll put a minus sign. You're able to understand? Like this, you're supposed to check. Like this, you're supposed to check for others also. Let us assume you're getting the signs like this: plus, minus, and plus. If suppose you're getting the values like this, you should always start the curve from the left extreme. If left extreme is positive, the curve will come from top. Whereas in this case, since the left extreme was negative, it came from bottom. You should cover that plus and minus sign. So positive sign is taken here, negative sign is covered, positive is covered, and negative is covered, and positive is taken like this. Now what is my inequality telling me? I need to choose the values of x in such a way that when I substitute in this particular inequality, it gives me a positive value. What are all the values of x that is giving you a positive value?
Minus infinity to minus 1.
Any value between minus infinity and minus 1?
And then union 0 to 3.
The union?
And union 5 to infinity.
That's it. That's what I did. Nothing else.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Understood.
Yeah. See, those who are completed, go to the next problem. Ninth one. I got few people telling me that they are not able to handle trigonometric functions. Just concentrate here. If you can let me know what exactly is troubling you in trigonometric function, I can help you out. Anybody who has a problem with trigonometry, what you're not able to think. So no one has problem with trigonometry? So what is the domain of this function?
Minus pi by 2, comma pi by 2. Oh, closed interval.
Need not be. Why are you restricting it to minus pi by 2? See, again it is like 4 sine, instead of theta, think like x, okay? 4 sine x divided by 2 plus cos x minus theta. See, wherever you have a fraction,
Sir, it's R.
it's r actually. Okay. Anyways, I'll explain why it is so. Wherever, see, for those who don't understand, listen. Wherever you have a fraction, okay, in that fraction you need to always ensure that the denominator is not equal to 0. So where will the denominator not be? So 2 plus cos x should not be equal to 0. And remember, the domain of cos and sine is real numbers.
Yes, sir.
So for the domain of cos and sine should be real numbers, correct? So if cos x is equal to cos x is not equal to minus 2, that is a value which is not defined. But is there a possibility for you to have cos x equal to minus 2? Is there any value of x that you can substitute which gives you minus 2?
No.
No, right? Because the least value is minus 1, greatest value is
1.
1. Had the same question been given like this, 4 sine theta divided by half plus cos theta, if they are given you like this, how can you tell me what is the domain?
Not equal to minus 1 by 2.
I didn't get you.
Cos theta not equal to
Cos theta should not be equal to minus 1 by 2. That is, see, cos theta should not be equal to minus 1 by 2 is the condition. Then, if this should happen, what are all the values of theta that you can substitute? So, you can substitute any value of real number except what?
Except pi by 3.
Okay, cos pi by 3 is half.
2 pi by 3.
Okay.
And so 2 pi by 3 and pi plus pi by 6.
Cos theta is equal to cos alpha. What is the general solution? Theta is equal to
2n pi by 3.
What is the general solution? Theta is equal to
2n pi plus or minus alpha.
2n pi plus or minus alpha. If cos theta is equal to minus half, then cos theta will be equal to cos 2 pi by 3.
Oh, yes, sir.
Then what will be the general solution?
2n pi plus or minus
Plus or minus?
2 pi by 3.
That is the domain. You can substitute any real number except 2n pi plus or minus pi by 3. So you need to be very careful with this. Okay, I hope you are able to understand.
Yes, sir.
Because you will be asked any type of a question, not like you are going to get an NCERT question directly. So please understand what I am trying to stress on. It is the domain which is very important. So everyone, not getting responses today. What happened? Sleeping, huh? So y is equal to 4 sin theta divided by 2 plus cos theta minus theta. So how to find y dash? So y dash is going to be equal to 2 plus cos theta into, what is this? Into 4 cos theta minus 4 sin theta into
minus sin theta.
minus sin theta the whole divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square minus 1 now. Because derivative of theta is going to be minus 1. So y dash will be equal to 8 cos theta plus 4 cos square theta plus 4 sin square theta the whole divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square minus 1. So 8 cos theta plus 4 divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square minus 1. Now do. How to solve this?
Do we take LCM again?
Sir, you can take 4 common, sir.
Okay, we can take 4 common. Then what do you want to do?
You get
Shall we
2
take
plus
LCM? First of all, shall we take LCM and then proceed? Let's see if something gets cancelled.
Sir, can we take LCM?
Yeah, we can. That's what I'm doing. So 2 plus cos theta the whole square divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square. So it is 8 cos theta plus 4 minus of 4 plus 4 cos theta plus cos square theta. Correct? The whole divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square. I've taken the LCM. So 4 and 4 gone. 8 cos theta minus 4 cos theta is 4 cos theta minus cos square theta divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square. Right? So if I take out cos theta, then what will I have inside? 4 minus cos theta divided by 2 plus cos theta the whole square. So this is the value of y dash. So till here you people can solve. Listen to it carefully. Now what are they asking? You need to find the intervals of theta for which the function is increasing. So y dash should be greater than 0. Again, what are all the checkpoints you need to verify? It is in which form? Product of two terms in the numerator and the denominator. Right? So y dash should be greater than 0. Again, numerator should be greater than 0. Denominator simultaneously should be 0, greater than 0, or the vice versa. Now in this case, what is happening? Denominator by default is positive. Is this clear? Denominator by default is positive. What can you say about the numerator? I'm writing an expression like this. Tell me if you're not clear. I'm saying 4 minus cos theta is also always positive. Is there any doubt on this?
Yes, sir.
Why? How can I say 4 minus cos theta is always positive? How do I know?
Sir, not necessarily, sir. Sir, 4 minus cos theta can be negative and cos theta can also be negative.
That's not right. 4 minus cos theta. It is always positive because what is the least value of cos theta that is possible for you from the trigonometric table?
Minus 1.
Minus 1. So when you substitute minus 1 there, what are you going to get?
3.
No.
That's 5.
You get 5.
Okay,
What is the
fine.
maximum value of cos theta that is possible?
Minus
1.
1. When you substitute 1, what are you? So the least value that you can get is the maximum value that you can get in this is 5, and the least value you can get is 1. So 1 to 5 is always positive. So this is by default positive. Are you able to understand this? So how you are supposed to write in the exam is 4 minus cos theta is always greater than 0, since cos theta, see, I will show you the inequality. It's better you write it like this. Since cos theta is greater than or equal to minus 1 and less than or equal to 1, can I say minus cos theta is always greater than or equal to 1 and less than 1? Can I put it like this? Because when you multiply with a minus sign, the inequality gets reversed. That's what I did. Okay. Adding 4 on both sides, what do I get? I get 5 greater than or equal to 4 minus cos theta greater than or equal to 3. So what are you going to say? 4 minus cos theta is less than or equal to 5 greater than or equal to 3. This is what I explained to you using the trial and error method. So the least value that you can get for 4 minus cos theta is 3, and the greatest value you can get is 5. Is there anyone having a doubt with what I solved? Is it clear? So that is why it is always positive. So what is the only thing I need to check? We have understood that this is positive for whatever value of theta you substitute. This is also positive. So what is the next check that I need to do? When
Cos
will
theta.
only cos theta? Hence, cos theta should be positive. Cos theta obviously is positive in
0 to pi by 2.
that's the answer. So that's the question, right? So you need to prove that it is increasing in the interval 0 to pi. So since they have given increasing, you can take it as greater than or equal to. See, actually, they should mention it clearly in the question, because if you look at the answers at the back, some places they would have taken open bracket, some places closed bracket. Actually, they should be very clear. When they use the word strictly increasing, it is greater than 0. When they use only the word increasing, then it should be a closed bracket. So please be careful about that.
Sir, in the question, it's given pi by 2 in the square bracket, right? No, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It should be greater than or equal to. See, I'm telling
Okay.
you, I'm
I get
telling you
it.
there is a mistake in the.
Okay, fine.
Okay, yeah. Because if you see the previous problem also, they use the word increasing, but if you check the answer, it should be it would have been open bracket. Similarly, for the 7th one, they have used the word increasing. It will be an open bracket. But for 7th one, obviously it has to be open bracket because domain itself doesn't contain -1. But for the 8th one, there might be a confusion that will arise. Okay, so they have to be specific in this. Right? So can we do the 14th and 15th? So find the least value of a such that the function f of x is equal to x square plus ax plus 1 is strictly increasing. So they told that it is strictly increasing the interval 1 to 2. Again, what is going to be the domain of this function? Whatever is the value of a that you're going to substitute, the quadratic equation's domain is always a real number. So in the domain of the function, only between the interval 1 and 2, this function has to increase, means what is the least value of a that I can substitute? That is the meaning. So according to the question, I need to take f dash of x greater than 0. So 2x plus a is greater than 0. Right. So then what should be the value of x? X should be greater than minus a by 2. This is obviously known fact. But for the function to be increasing, what are the values of x that it can take according to the question? For the function to be increasing, x should be greater than 1 and less than 2. Correct. So in the place of x, so if x is greater than minus a by 2, then what is the least value that I can substitute?
1.
So least value of x that I can substitute is 1. So if I put 1 here, 1 should be greater than minus a by 2, which implies a should be less than minus 2. Wait, I will change it. See, listen, I'll solve it in a different way. X should be greater than 1, less than 2. So from this I can conclude minus x is less than a by 2. Right. So I'll put a minus 1 here. Minus 1 is greater than minus x is greater than minus 2. So here compare this inequality and this one. Minus x should be less than a by 2. Here minus x should be less than minus 1. So what is the least value possible? Then the value of a by 2 should be equal to minus 1. So the least value of a that is possible is minus 2. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, sir.
right? So one last problem in this exercise. Or else I'm leaving this to you. People do it. I'm not getting responses. So I'll go to the next exercise. I'll teach that. You can start working on that. So the next exercise is called as tangents and normals. Okay. So this is the third application of derivative. Again, it is very simple. So differentiation gives us what?
Slope.
The tangent of the curve at that point.
Slope of the tangent at that point, right? Slope of the tangent at that point. So if you need the slope of the tangent at that point, you need to do dy by dx, and you should know the x coordinate or y coordinate of that point. You will substitute x comma y in that. That will give you the slope, right? So if you know, last year you would have learned, if you know the point and slope, using the slope point form, so using the slope point form, what can you do? You can write the equation of line
Y minus Y1.
y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So that y minus y1 will be equal to, in the place of m, you will write it as dy by dx into x comma y or x1 comma y1 into x minus x1. So this is going to be the equation of tangent. This is going to be the equation of tangent. Okay. So as I told you, the topic is tangents and normal. So what do you mean by normal?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular. If two lines are perpendicular to each other, what is the mathematical condition between them?
The product of slope is minus 1.
Very good. So if I have a curve like this, if I draw a tangent at this point, if the slope of the tangent is m or m1, then if I draw a normal to this curve, if it is going to be m2, then the product of these two slopes, that is m1 into m2, will be equal to minus 1. Right? So if slope of tangent according to calculus is dy by dx, then what will be the slope of normal according to calculus? It will be minus 1 divided by dy by dx. Means it's very simple. In this whole exercise, they will ask you to write the equation of tangent and normal to a given curve at a given point. That's it. So that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. So I will explain you with an example itself, so that it will be easy. Observe. So if I take example 14, find the slope of the tangent to the curve y is equal to x cube minus x at x is equal to. How to proceed? So they're asking you the slope of the tangent to the curve. So for slope, you need to first differentiate on both the sides. So differentiating, you get dy by dx is equal to 3x square minus 1. So what is the value of dy by dx at x is equal to 2?
11.
So what will you do? 3 into 2 minus 1. 3 into 4, 3 into 4 minus 1, that is 11. So that's it. If suppose I extend this question, write equation of tangent to the above curve at x is equal to 2. If I put a question like this, then what will you do? So for you to write any equation of a straight line, what are all the required data? You need to know the slope of it, and you need to know the point at which you're trying to write the equation. Right? So in this question, what is it given? They've given only the x coordinate of the point. How will you find the y coordinate? Since x is equal to 2, y will be equal to what? Sorry?
6, sir.
How did you get that 6?
X
It is
cube.
8 minus 2, it is 6, right? So what will be the point at which you are writing 2, 6? Right? So slope of the tangent is 11. Then what is going to be the equation? Y minus y1 is equal to 11 into x minus x1. So y minus 6 is equal to 11x minus 22. 11x minus 22. So 11x minus y minus 22 is 16. Minus 16 is equal to 0. So this is going to be the equation of the tangent. If the same question is extended, they are asking you the equation of normal, then how do you write? If they are asking you equation of normal, then what will you do? Y minus y1 is equal to, what will be the slope of normal?
Minus 1 by 11.
That's it. Slope of normal is minus 1 by 11. So y minus y1 is equal to minus m into x minus x1. x1 2. So it is going to be 11y minus 66 is equal to minus x plus 2. So x plus 11y minus 68 is equal to 0. This is what you're supposed to do throughout the exercise. This is what they're going to ask you, but with different conditions. Okay, so what are the steps to be followed? First, differentiate, substitute the point, you will get the slope of the tangent. Okay, if they have given you the point, apply the formula y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1 and then write the equation. Okay, so can we do some more problems? So we'll do some more problems. Observe, if I do example 15, find the point at which the tangent to the curve y is equal to root of 4x minus 3 minus 1 has a slope of 2 by 3. So the slope is given here. You need to find the point at which this kind of a condition would be arrived. So how to do this? Y dash will be equal to 1 by 2 root of 4x minus 3 into, so derivative of root x is 1 by 2 root x into, this is going to be 4 into derivative of 4x minus 3 is 4 minus derivative of 1 is going to be 0. So this and this will get cancelled. So y dash will be equal to 2 divided by root of 4x minus 3. So what am I supposed to do now? So I've got the slope. I should equate the slope to
2 by 3.
2 by 3. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled, which implies squaring on both the sides. 4x minus 3 will be equal to 9, which implies 4x will be equal to 12, x will be equal to 3. So when the value of x coordinate is 3, how do I find the y coordinate?
Substitute in y.
Substitute in the given curve. So when x is equal to 3, y will be equal to square root of 12 minus 9 up. So you get y is equal to 3 minus 1, 2. So the required point is 3, 2. Right. So the required point will be 3, 2. Okay. So I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Right. See, there will be few problems where you will have trigonometric ratios being given. That is, they will give you the parametric form of it. Like if you take for a circle or something, like you have x square plus y square is equal to a square. Do you people know what is the parametric form? I'm not talking about the parametric form of differentiation. You know what is the parametric form of a curve? Anybody who can tell me? If I give you a circle whose equation is x square plus y square is equal to a square, if I ask you what is the parametric coordinate of any point on this circle, what will be the answer?
Sir, isn't that 8a square comma 2a here?
That is for parable.
Parable.
I'm asking for a circle.
Sir,
Yeah,
a sin theta cos theta. A sin theta comma a cos theta.
yeah, you have reversed it actually. It is a cos theta comma a.
Okay.
So these are called the parametric coordinates, a cos theta and a sin theta. See, in the 5.5, I don't remember, 5.5 or 5.6, we did the parametric differentiation, right? There they would have given it as x is equal to a cos theta, y is equal to a sin theta. Find out dy by dx. Indirectly, what are they asking? Indirectly, what are you doing actually?
Slope.
Everything, you're finding the slope of whom? Slope of the tangent to what curve? You are actually finding the slope of a tangent to a circle with center at the origin. Because if I solve this, what will I get? See, suppose I get x square plus y square is equal to a square, a cos theta is into. If you people are wondering what is parametric equation, it is very simple. See, if I take the coordinate of this point to be x comma y, Okay, if I say this is the radial vector, it is making an angle theta, then this distance will be how much? This distance will be x and this distance will be y, and this is the radius of the circle. If I ask you x by a, what will you say? Trigonometry, basic
Cos
trigonometry.
theta.
That is, similarly, y by a is equal to
Sin theta.
Sin theta.
sin theta. So that is why I wrote x is equal to a cos theta and y is equal to a sin. Since you are writing in terms of one parameter, these are also called as the parametric coordinates. Now I will do the reverse process. If they give you x is equal to a cos theta, y is equal to a sin theta, then I can write x by a as cos theta and y by a as sin theta. So if I ask you to eliminate theta, what will you do? The only way to eliminate theta is cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1. Right? So we know that cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1. So x square by a square plus y square by a square is equal to 1. What do you get? So when you eliminate the value of theta, you're going to get the equation of circle. They both are interrelated. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So if you know all these things, it will be better. You don't also know issue, but just to improve your database of knowledge, I'm explaining all these things. Okay. So x square plus y square. I hope you are able to understand what a parametric coordinate means. Why actually you were differentiating in the previous chapter. Okay. So when they ask you what is dy by dx, the meaning of it is, suppose I give you a question like this, x square plus y square is equal to a square. I ask you, what is dy by dx at theta is equal to, observe it, at theta is equal to 2 pi by 3, if they give you something, or else I'll put it simple, theta is equal to pi by 3. So what are they trying to say? Means you have a circle, on the circle you have a parametric coordinate, right? And this parametric coordinate is in such a way that the radius is making an angle of 60 degrees. So at this point, if you draw a tangent, what would be the slope of it? Are you able to understand? So that is the meaning. If you have to visualize it diagrammatically. Okay. So sometimes these kind of questions will be asked. For example, see, you'll understand why I explained this. See, for example, find the equation of tangent to the curve. Example 20, if you see, x is equal to a sin cube t and y is equal to b cos cube t. It is some parametric coordinate for some curve. We don't know what curve it is. Okay, that is one case. Similarly, you have questions like this. Fifth one. Find the slope of the normal to the curve x is equal to a cos cube theta and y is equal to a sin cube theta. Theta is equal to pi by 4. They have not given you the curve. What have they given you? They have actually given you the coordinates, but they are calling it as curve. Okay, why are they able to call it as curve? Sorry, not there. They are able to call it as a curve because you can eliminate the theta and write an expression in terms of x and y. Similarly, find the slope of the normal to the curve. It is like this. Okay, you have in miscellaneous you will have many such questions. At the time you should have a clarity. For example, this is a parametric question. So when they ask you something like this, I will just teach you a shortcut of how to write the equation of a tangent in one step. How you can write the equation of tangent in one step. This will not help you when you have numbers. This will rather help you when you have these kind of sin theta and cos theta. When you have the parametric coordinates, it will help you. For example, let's say the slope of a curve is 2 by 3. I have a slope which is 2 by 3. Let's say there is a coordinate 5, 6. I've taken some random. If I ask you to write the equation, what will you do? You will take it as y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So you will write it as 3y minus 18 is equal to 2x minus 10. So answer will be 2x minus 3y plus 8 is equal to 0. So number of steps 3. Right. So how to write this in one step is 2 by 3 is equal to 5. So 2 by 3 comma 5 by 6. So slope point. So for the slope, what you do is multiply the numerator with x, multiply the denominator with y. If the slope is positive, change the sign of y to negative. If the slope is negative, change the sign of y to positive. So since here the slope is positive, 2x, 3y If the slope is positive, put a minus sign in between. Equal to, what you're supposed to do is substitute these points in this equation. You will get 10 minus 18, that is minus 8. Is this the same answer? Right. You're able to understand. See, when you look at the numbers, it will be simple. But when it comes to the case of handling trigonometric functions, it will be helpful. Are you guys able to understand this? Nothing complicated, right?
Yes.
Sir. Okay. So this is a shortcut. See, for example, one last point we will do, and then we can wind up the session. If suppose I have a coordinate x is equal to a cos theta, y is equal to a sin theta, at theta is equal to pi by 4, if I'm asking you the equation of straight, then how you write? So first, what will you do? You will be doing dy by d theta, that is going to be a cos theta, divided by dx by d theta will be minus a sin theta. So a and a will get cancelled. Minus cos theta divided by sin theta. Now what am I supposed to do? So dy by dx at theta is equal to pi by 4. What will I get? Minus cos theta divided by sin theta is minus 1. So it is going to be minus 1. So how do I write the equation? Somebody using the shortcut. So a cos theta, a sin theta is the point. Here, so minus 1 is the slope. So what should I do? So it is going to be minus 1 by 1. Multiply the numerator with denominator with y. So x, y. Since the slope is negative, in between should I put a plus sign or a minus sign?
Plus.
Plus is equal to, in the place of x I should write a cos theta. Plus in the place of y I should write a sin theta. Only change I need to make is in the place of theta I need to substitute pi by 2. So x plus y will be equal to a by root 2 plus a by root 2. So we get x plus y is equal to 2 a by root 2, which is going to be root 2a. So x plus y is equal to root 2a is the answer. So we can expect these kind of questions. So this is how they'll not make it simple at all. These simple problems are only for your practice warm-up session. Okay. So ensure you practice all these things. The next class we'll do a few problems and then we can go to the next exercise. So don't log off, wait for a minute, I need to take the attendance. Done. You can log off if you have no doubts.